Hi guys, how you doing? Model Muppet here and welcome to another edition of Mapping for Dummies. Now today, gonna have a look at placing spawn points. I noticed like you get your map done, and you get to a point and you just want to publish the damn thing. you don't want to spend any more time on it. You don't want to write any more mistakes. You just want to publish. And usually what people do is leave the spawn placement until last, which is fair enough. But what happens is by the time you get to doing your spawn placements, you've had enough of making the map and you just want to get it finished and up there. Well, the thing is, spawn placements will actually massively determine what the players think about your map. They'll get that little flyover thing, but really the first strong impression they get of your map is when they spawn. And if you get that bit wrong, it can mess up their whole impressions of all of your hard work. So it is worth putting the thought into it. And apart from that, the spawn placements play a massive part in how the game is actually going to play. So let's have a look around. Here I have made a stunning map. It is absolutely brilliant, super dabby, fandozy, whatever they say. And let's have a look at the spawn point. The spawn point is facing away from it. But look how far it is. So your player on that spawn point will have faced the opposite direction to where the action is. He'll orientate himself, think, right, I've got to get over there. And right, there's no need for it really. You know, that's kind of too far out of the way. Now this spawn is a lot closer to the action, but it's a bit disorientating for the player because when he spawns, he's going to be facing a building. You won't know whether he's got to go left or right, etc, etc. Okay, so that's another don't do. This spawn here is a hi, everybody look at me. Right, he's going to spawn out in the middle of nowhere, no protection, and he's going to get shot pretty quickly, probably before he has a clue what is going on. This spawn here is what I call the naughty boy. He's been stood in a corner and he has to face the corner, and when he spawns, that is where he is going to face. So he's a lot closer to the action and everything, but he's still going to be disorientated when he spawns. What else do we have here? That's all we have on this one. Now here's a couple of other points I'd like to make. This one we'll call the hi, because he is up high. Gives him a good look down there. Also gives anybody else a good look up at him as soon as he fires. Now, I know there are people who like to take the high ground, who like to be a sniper and stuff like that, but they're not a high proportion of players. Somebody wants to do that, they should make the effort and go and find the high ground, not have it handed to them on a plate, because you're also going to really kind of upset the players who don't want to be a camping sniper, who want to get into the meat of the game. Now, you might be saying to yourself, aha, well, I can just put a ladder down here. Yeah, you can, but Ubisoft, in their infinite wisdom, have given us a game where climbing a ladder will often lead to death. And I've had this happen to me on several occasions now. I spawn somewhere up high, go to the nearest ladder, climb down, and I'm dead. It's no good, chaps. Now, this fella up here. When I was a kid, I used to play Rolly Down the Hill. I'm sure you've all done it, and it was great fun. But it's not great fun in this game, because going down a hill, if it's a big slope, will cause a lot of damage. If it's high like this and has a steep slope, the player will probably die from that as well. This fella over here. No man is an island. Oh, hang on a minute. Dog, will you shut up? I'm trying to do a video. You know what it is? Today I was going to do a video about how I love my dog. And I do. I love my dog to bits. But sometimes I just wish he'd shut up. Anyway, yeah. So this one here. No man is an island. Except this man here. And what happened to him is he'll spawn. He's got no cover. People will see him. He jumps in the water. Then he can't get out of the water. Now, never put a player in a spawn point where he has to go through water to get to where you want him to be. because while he's in the water, he is an open target. It's not always intuitive either to get out of the water. What may become very apparent to you as the person who places the way out of the water is not very apparent to somebody who's playing the map for the first time. So spawns away from water, and really water should be a choice. You know, you should only go into water if there's going to be some advantage at the other end. You know, if it gets you to a good flanking position or something, and then you have that whole risk-reward thing going on. You take a risk of going in the water, but the reward is you get a better position out of it. Otherwise, I'd say more or less don't really use water in your maps apart from for decoration, because it doesn't really add anything to gameplay. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the different spawns where we go to the Add New Objects menu here. So you get to that by this way. It will be under Game Modes. And you've got different spawn points for all the different game types. And then you've got this global one up here. Now, if we wanted to say do Firestorm, you can use the blue and the red spawn points for the different teams. Or if you're happy with where your global ones are, your blue and your red ones, you can just use them. Now don't use the game specific ones unless you really want the map to play differently for each modes. And I would say that's more of an advanced option really. It's very good if you understand the game and if you understand the spawn processes, etc. But probably if you're going to get anything out of a video like this, you're not at that stage yet. So what I would say to you is, for now, just use the global spawn points. Now your blue and red ones, got highlighted here, that's your starting position only. So once the game has been going, and you know players are getting to the point of having a fight and they're dying, they'll never use those red and blue ones again. So as long as you have them away from the other team's spawn, there's absolutely nothing wrong with grouping them all together. Unless you have a specific game reason to not do that. You can't get spawn counts. Once they have spawns there and the game is underway, they will never use these spawn points again. Right? So I'd suggest to you keep your teams together at the start and let them split up. Now that's not an absolute you must do that. But what I'm saying is there's no harm in grouping them all together. They won't get spawn trapped later on because that's not how the spawn system works in Far Cry 3. What happens is these shared spawn points. And as long as we put these shared spawn points around the map, and we have them, evenly spaced around the map, and we have them in different locations in the buildings, but making sure they're not following the naughty boy rule, you'll be grand. Right? Now, if you're doing game specifics though, you're going to need certain spawn things for transmission, for example. You need to put these down. This will be where the radios will spawn, and you need to have a certain amount of them. I forget what it is, but I think it's about 5. I could be wrong. You'll find that under map validation anyway. In fact, we can have a quick look there. If we go to validation for transmission, it's 4. It'll tell us there that I've only planted 2 out of 4 transmission points. Okay. If we're wanting to do Firestorm, they have a different thing that isn't there for the other ones. We have a green spawn point. Now, we've also got the radio point. Now, just say, for example, that the radio is here, so that the teams have successfully lit the barrels, and the firestorm starts if they get to the radio point. When somebody has died during this process, they'll use these green spawn points, not the white ones. So again, wherever you want to place them, if you place them too close, it's going to make it impossible for anyone to take that radio point. So they do need to be a little bit away, so that if Team A has managed to get here and kill everyone around it, they've got a bit of a chance to take it, before everybody gets there. I hope that makes some kind of sense to you. Domination doesn't have any specific spawn points, just for the actual domination points. You need 1 each of those. Team Deathmatch is the easiest to do of all of them. And that's pretty much it. You do need to have your end movie in, but you probably figured that out anyway. If there's any questions, guys, give me a shout. You know, if there's anything that you think I haven't covered that you think I should cover, put it in the comments page and I'll think about how to get that information across to other people. If you are finding this series helpful, please do rate, like and share and all that kind of malarkey. And if there's any particular areas that you would like to see covered for map making, for beginners, again, just comment and I'll do my best to cover them. This is Muppet out. Take it easy, guys. Bye!